Make no mistake that Ghana is a very promising country, but it's also a very difficult country. And the responsibility of our generation is to be able to leverage whatever resources we have to make the next generation better. In our time, we need to build structures. Unfortunately, in the absence of those structures, we depend on the community of friends around us to be able to leverage all the skill sets to be able to function. So I gave the first example of networking. Networking because if you don't have structures around you, you need people to support the work you do. So sometimes getting research, data, etc., it's simply difficult to do. So the importance of network, if you're not within a network, I understand the difficulty, but the collective effort is to be able to build an ecosystem of young people, whether you work for the tech industry, the financial services, or within the government that I do, to be able to forge the structures of the future. So I think that was the first example that I gave. The second example that I gave was to embrace Ghana in its totality. And this is almost the immediate thing you realize. Because when you come to Ghana, even if you have a job, when you come to Ghana, you don't just step into that job directly. You step into a mosquito-infested sort of environment, you step into dentistry. So all the Ghana that it is here, that is what you receive. So the mentality of saying that I'm going to go in, not because it's easy, I'm going to go in because I'm a Ghanaian and this country was born in me, and for that matter, I'm going to take a part of it and make it better. It's a sense of what I was trying to communicate within my session.
Well, when looking at the Ghanaian, I don't like that expression, the second generation Ghanaian. Personally, I think it's totally wrong. But the Ghanaian that's left outside of Ghana between the ages of 16 and even 30, 35 would want to come home to a situation where everything works. But you come, the reality hits you in the face and you think that, well, I need to go back. You've come in, you quoted unquote in a very good privileged position. How do we influence the others to change their mindset? Are we just using seminars like this? Or will we have to probably do a roadshow to let Ghanaians feel that, hey, there's something at home we're doing?
Okay. So I think I would try to answer the question by giving people information that is not public. So typically what you see is Michael, the special assistant to the finance minister. But something happened before that, right, and something happened before other things. I give you an example. When I started working for Ken, he wasn't a finance minister. And I remember there were days that we were working that because of security situations around us, we needed to build tents in the grass outside to sleep in because we could not move. We needed to sleep outside. So before the special assistant or before the finance minister, there is always an untold narrative of struggle, of failing again and again and again, but just hoping that this country has to be better anyway, so I have to keep on going. So sometimes there's a level of insanity about it, a passionate insanity about not giving up, because it's not like a business that one breaks down, you go and start another business. When it comes to nation building, you just have to keep on going till it works, because that's all that you have. So for me, it's a question of a mental shift in saying that it's not going to be an easy exercise. But then the question then becomes, as you do your bit, how does government support you to make that happen? And I think the failure of our government over the previous years have always been the situation whereby we don't give enough access to everybody to be able to say, you cry, you did not succeed, Not because it was your fault, but it did not succeed because you were in a village somewhere that you were not able to go to the right school, so you had to even walk to get to a school, and you did not have sundown, so you did not go. So I think our task as government going forward is, how do we make sure that the access to basic social services are there, so that if you come home, it doesn't become, government fault for you not succeeding, but it becomes an individual responsibility to succeed. And the whole idea of a center-right government is based on this thinking, that give access to people, and you'll be surprised as to what people achieve from that.
Gauging from the reaction in the room when all three of you have finished your presentation, the questions that were coming in the rest of it, do you think that we should give access to the young generation, not the second generation, as I said, to the young generation to make an impact, and ask the elderly group to step behind and push with the experience? Do you think it should be so?
I think it's not that simple, because to make a system work, even a traditional system, everybody has a role.
Right.
And be able to clarify the role and get everybody involved, that's the question. So for older people, how do we make sure that we transfer experience, we give the space for young people to step in? And for young people, when they give you a chance to step in, you take on that responsibility sincerely. So my thinking is not about somebody stepping in and somebody stepping out. Even my grandfather that cannot walk has a role within the family. So if you think about it in terms of role definition and making sure that the young people can play a part, they can learn, and they can actually be in a position to be able to partake in the country's leadership when their time comes. I think that's sort of the point one would want to express, rather than just going in and out. I think that's a bit, I don't know whether that's the best way to express it.
Well,